Hello, and welcome everyone to the gallery. I'm glad you're able to join me in considering this work of art I'm putting up on the wall. Perhaps with your favorite beverage in hand. Hey, I've got a mug of Earl Grey today. Let's savor and appreciate. This is the 2021 Marvel Universe superhero movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. As I sat in the darkened theater watching the film's opening with voice-over narration, this movie almost immediately transcended the superhero genre for me. In that first choreographed martial arts encounter between Shang-Chi's mother and father, I remember thinking to myself, this is a dance of love. I was enthralled with the story from that moment. In high school and college, I was able to study Kenpo karate, and the katas were always my favorite parts of our instruction time. These were choreographed forms of practice, a series of movements like punches, kicks, and defensive postures to memorize and work through repetitively till they flowed reflexively. In the movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and most particularly in its gorgeous choreographed martial arts scenes, I think we are given a visual artistic representation of how love responds to the dark, things like hatred and aggression, capable of disarming it and transforming it in the end. Love invites flawed, imperfect characters to join the dance and in the process become more fully who they're meant to be. So I'm calling my analysis the Disarming Dance of Love. The quote I'm using to talk about the theme of the Disarming Dance of Love is taken from the movie. These are words spoken to our protagonist, Shang-Chi, also known as Shan, as he is struggling with ugly and painful things about his childhood and also about himself. You are a product of all who came before you, the legacy of your family. You are your mother, and whether you like it or not, you are also your father. The light and the dark, the good and the bad, it is all a part of who you are. Stop hiding. This movie upholds the importance of family. The message is not deconstruct your family, the context in which you were raised, and because of its imperfections and brokenness, throw it away as if that will leave you in a happier place. I'm reminded of the book Brave New World, Aldous Huxley's dystopian fiction, where in one of the many efforts to remove societal problems, suffering, and pain, there are no families, and the word mother is an obscenity, a forbidden word. Sean must decide whether or not to take his family, his history, the good and the bad, and choose to pursue the light, the strengths he's inherited, and all the potential for good that is there. In this way, Shang-Chi and other characters in the movie as well are faced with a choice: receive or reject the invitation to join in the dance of love, rooted in the strengths of his family and reaching out in relationship to others. Now let's move on to a series of film images that reflect the theme. The first image I've chosen has to be that very first encounter between Shang-Chi's mother and father. This is the first disarming dance of love, and it is a powerful yet graceful, persistent and focused dance of love in the face of darkness and aggression. Shang-Chi's future mother is guarding the way to her mystical home village, her extended family, facing the evil intentions of Shang-Chi's future father, and she doesn't relent. In a sort of graceful ballet of martial arts, she shows calm alertness over his anger, focus over his strength, defense over his aggression, throwing his attacks back at him, almost playfully at times, leaving him lying on the forest floor smiling. Laughter and love win. The dance of love disarms him, and he accepts the invitation to a relationship and is transformed in the process. Together, they risk becoming a family. Beautiful, joyful, life-giving, messy, flawed, disappointing, heartbreaking too. Now, I love, love, love a good martial arts film. This bus fight scene was utterly thrilling and satisfying for me. In keeping with the Disarming Dance of Love theme, here we have the bus dance. Sean is drawn out of hiding and into action that reveals his true identity in order to protect and defend his friend Katie and the other unsuspecting passengers of the bus, and to guard that jade pendant keepsake from his mother, the thing that he's been told by his mother will lead him back home. These actions reveal the truth about the orientation of Sean's heart. Katie is an excellent dance partner here, driving the bus to help save her friend and the other bus passengers. Let's be clear here. Katie is an awesome partner throughout in the movie, right? Whether it's karaoke singing, drifting cars and driving through the car-eating bamboo forest, or taking aim in archery in response to those words from a wise elder, if you aim at nothing, you hit nothing, or being a helpful relational link between Shang-Chi and his estranged sister, kind of smoothing the path in little friendly ways to help the siblings reconnect. It's within the context of this scene that we get our theme quote delivered. Shang-Chi's aunt demonstrates the way to defeat his father, the way of the inviting dance of love. Her movements and demeanor in this choreographed scene resemble those of her sister, Shang-Chi's mother, earlier in the film. In this way, she is encouraging her nephew to consider what it takes to overcome the darkness Shang-Chi is frightened of or running from in his father and within his own heart. When Shang-Chi first battles with his father here, things do not go well for him. You can see that there's more aggression and anger in the way he first meets his father. Later, Shang-Chi fights in a way that resembles his aunt and his mother's style, in the way of the Disarming Dance of Love. He meets his father's attacks to deflect them and to refocus their energy and shape that energy in the right way. Transformation begins to happen. Finally, the father sees something he recognizes, that look on his son's face and in his son's manner, an echo of that inviting dance of love that he first experienced with his wife. And the father comes back to himself and chooses the light again. This is his moment of sacrificial love for his children. Shang-Chi now wields the 10 rings, but he's going to put them to very different use than his father ever did. By the way, I think it's important to note that dismemberment is a fitting end to the creature that's the embodiment of evil in the movie, as we see evil defeated by its own method. Love, by contrast, remembers, not for approval of what is dark, but for transformation to the light. For the last segment of my analysis, I've got a piece of theme-related music. This is from the Vanishing Shores album, Maps, and some of you may recognize that I've used this band's music on one of my other reviews. Well, it's just that good, yes. The song here is the title track of the album, Maps. I think this song fits in nicely with the scene of the water map that materializes when those jade pendant keepsakes from Mom are used, and Shang-Chi and his sister are given the way back home and also the way forward. Listen to these lyrics from the song. We are making time, looking over maps we held in a past life. I thought about that look you gave that banished the last ghost. So picture with me that look Shang-Chi's mother gives to her future husband, and that Shang-Chi himself later gives to his father. And then there's the repeated chorus of the song, love is always moving in the underground. This is a great road trip song, I think, and a song to live by. I've provided a link to the song below in the description, so have a listen. Well, that concludes this trip to the gallery. Thank you for being with me in the gallery. As we each go on our way, let's stay awake to gather the beautiful. Cheers!